Family has a tendency to be highly opinionated about the people that we date. Sometimes they love your significant other. Sometimes they hate them. Sometimes they never get to meet them. And sometimes they think that your significant other is behind your mysterious disappearance. My name is Brienne, and I'm the host and creator of Among the Dirt and Trees, a show where we explore true crime cases that occur out in nature. In today's episode, we're going to discuss the disappearance of Fariba Amani, a 47-year-old woman who went on a cruise with her boyfriend and never made it back to shore. To this day, her whereabouts are unknown. On February 29, 2012, Fariba was aboard a Celebration cruise ship on a wonderful getaway with her boyfriend. At least, that is what it was supposed to be. Unfortunately, February 29th was the day that Fariba disappeared. Her boyfriend of 8 months, Ramiz Golshani, was the last person to see her, and no one seems to know what happened. But there is one clear fact, and that is that her family wholeheartedly believes that her boyfriend knows exactly what happened to her. According to Golshani, Fariba was headed to the gift shop aboard the ship. This was reportedly around 1 a.m., which might seem odd, but when you're on a cruise ship, time really does kind of take on a mind of its own. He claims that he saw her heading that direction, went to the casino, and then went back to the room where he fell asleep. He didn't seem to worry about the fact that she wasn't in the hotel room, and he didn't go look for her, at least not before he went to sleep. This would be a pretty big point of interest in this case. In fact, conversations with her family would bring up many points of interest, all of them pointing right at Golshani. Golshani reported Fariba as missing the following morning around 8 a.m., and a formal search began. The staff aboard the ship searched high and low, but there was no sign of her anywhere. The Coast Guard search covered 10,000 square miles of ocean, but again, they found nothing. It was as if she completely disappeared into thin air. Or, more likely, off the side of the boat. Somewhere between Florida and the Bahamas, Fariba vanished. To make the situation even worse, the FBI wasn't allowed to search the ship until 2 full days after she disappeared, meaning important evidence was very likely lost. Now, we all know it's very common for the finger to be pointed at a significant other when someone goes missing or turns up dead. But Fariba's family seems to have more than just a hunch. When questioned, they portrayed a disturbing image of Fariba and Ramiz's relationship. Unknown to Golshani, Fariba was using this cruise to determine if she was going to stay in a relationship with him at all. Some reports say that she only even agreed to go because he had already paid for it. For obvious reasons, this paints a particularly sinister scene. Is it possible that he found out about her plans and got angry? According to her family, the answer is yes. Their relationship was concerning for several reasons. Fariba had been confiding in her sister about their troubles for a while. She believed that Golshani was possibly cheating on her and actually contacted a private investigator to look into it. But she decided against it in the end. Now, to be clear, she changed her mind, but not for the reason that you might expect. It wasn't because she didn't believe that he was cheating, but rather that she was afraid of how he would react if he found out. When the private investigator that she contacted was interviewed, he said that Fariba described Golshani as extremely controlling and said that he needed to know her every move, every minute of the day. I think we can all agree that this doesn't sound like the guy who went to bed without worrying and didn't report her missing until the following morning. I would like to be clear that police have said that Golshani is not a suspect after questioning him, but Fariba's family strongly disagrees with this, and a lot of information that's come to light is fairly damning. While it's easy to think of someone falling overboard on a cruise ship after a night of drinking, it is important to know that Fariba didn't drink, which her family believes means that an accident is really unlikely. What we know is that Fariba was in a troubled relationship and had plans to end it unless Golshani changed. And then at some point, she disappeared. Fariba's family said that they never actually met Golshani, which does seem a little surprising. What's even more surprising is that he actively avoided them and refused to talk to them after her disappearance. You would think that he would want to check in or that he would be seeking support for their joint loss. Instead, he wants nothing to do with them. Of course, depending on how this all played out, it is possible that the reason is that he knows they believe that he was involved. With this case, there are really more unknowns than knowns. What makes it even more strange is that there doesn't seem to be any surveillance footage either. When someone goes missing, it is anyone's guess what might have happened. In this case, there are 3 prominent theories. The first theory is the simplest, and that is that Fariba ended up accidentally falling off the ship somehow. We know that her family doesn't think this happened, but it is always an option. Is it possible that the boat hit a sizable wave and sent her overboard? We really don't know. The second theory is that Fariba was murdered, either by her boyfriend or someone else. Given what we know, her boyfriend does seem like an obvious suspect. A tense relationship reaching its breaking point certainly seems like a risk. But the truth is that some unknown person could have also harmed Fariba while she was alone. We don't truly know that it was Golshani. If she was murdered, of course. The third theory is that Fariba chose to take her own life. Obviously, we know that she was having a really difficult time. She was having trouble in her relationship and clearly suspected that infidelity might be an issue. These are difficult things that can really weigh on your mental health. Is it possible that Fariba found herself feeling low following yet another fight with Golshani? Honestly, I don't know about this theory. I would never say that we should rule it out. It's clear that she was having a hard time, but it also seems like she had some semblance of a support system and people that she cared about. It seems odd that she would make the decision and leave nothing behind to explain the situation. Not everyone does, but given how involved her family was in her life, I feel like she would have wanted them to have that closure. And if she was truly upset about fighting with Golshani, it seems even more strange, right? Because she had already said that she was considering breaking up with him as soon as the cruise was over. Which means she was very close to getting out of all this. Of course, a lot of this is just speculation. The truth is that we don't know what happened to Fariba, but a lot of people believe that someone does. Maybe at some point down the line, we will learn the truth about what happened to her. But for now, all her family can do is hope for answers and mourn her loss. So, if you would like to discuss the dangers of open water, the grief of losing someone that you love, or the best items to buy duty-free, feel free to contact me on Twitter or Instagram using the tag @datpod. Thanks, guys.